Hey there, Trailblazer. If it's your first time catching one of my live broadcasts or watching this in the replay, my name is Tabitha Christopher of TabithaChristopher.com. My company founded the Mind, Style, and Makeover Bootcamp, also known as MSMBC. It is a character and resilience building training program that provides students in college, high school, and middle school with a roadmap to succeed academically, athletically, socially, and emotionally. My company also founded the Enrich Executive Women's Retreat, a bespoke Christ-centered, high-ticketed experience that's crafted specifically for women leaders, innovators, and visionaries who seek profound transformation and find it at the Enrich Executive Women's Retreat. Today, we're going to be talking about building resilience and owning your story without all the fluff. We are clocking. I'm like clocking. We're knocking, clocking. We're taking all the fluff out of building resilience, and we're going to get down to the nitty gritty of it, of what you can do. Just three things, three major keys that I'm going to go over very quickly. It's going to be compact. We're going to get right to the meat of it. So if this is you where you are sick and tired of feeling stuck in a narrative that is not how you want to experience life. It's not how you even want to be remembered, your legacy, and you want to get unstuck from that. It doesn't matter what your age is, right? Whether you are in middle school, high school, college, you could be watching this and you're the parent of a student that's in either one of these grade levels, and you may be feeling stuck in that narrative. I want you to watch, lean in closely, because this talk tonight, like I said, it's going to cut out the fluff of what it takes to build resilience and own your story. So, first, we've got to know what these two words actually mean. What does it mean to have resilience? Well, if you just do a quick Google search, what comes up is the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. And what does it mean to own your story? Owning your story means that you don't allow for whatever has happened to you in the past or whatever has taken place in your present to own your emotions, dictating what you're going to do. No, you own it. You look for solutions. You become proactive minded so that you're able to turn the situation for good and take whatever is happening into stepping stones for your future success. Let's talk about that. What does it take to build resilience, to be able to recover quickly from challenges, difficulties? Number one, do the opposite of your feelings. If your feelings are suggesting that you run from your responsibilities, and you know what your responsibilities are, every single one of us, depending on what stage of life you're in. If you're a student watching this, your responsibilities may just strictly be from your parents telling you, I need you to do well in school. If you're in sports, your coaches are looking for you to show up on time and deliver. Have your mindset focus on what you're coming in there to do and give your best every single time you show up. Your responsibilities as the student may be making sure that whatever the household duties are, to make sure that the family is staying unified on task with the family mission, that you're completing those family tasks. Some may call it chores, some may call it household responsibilities, making sure that you're staying on top of that, right? Whatever your responsibilities are, your priorities are, right? Priorities, cut that, responsibilities. Doing the opposite of your feelings. Your feelings may say, well, I don't feel like doing X. You fill in the blank of whatever that is. That X may be, I may not feel like showing up on time for class. I may not feel like doing this presentation in front of my peers. I may not feel like going to this network building event because I have high anxiety levels. I have social anxiety. I have a speech impediment. Trailblazer, really quick. When I speak to you on these topics, I'm not speaking from a place of ideas that I read in the book. I'm not speaking to you from, oh, this sounds like it's a good idea because this psychologist and this neuroscience and this pathologist, endocrinologist, all these different big experts out in the world said that this is what you're supposed to do. No, I'm sharing this with you because I've lived this. I've been on the other side of living in immense fear, a fear-ridden life, to the point of where I lost control of my bladder and I wet the bed till I was 19 years old. I stopped speaking in public. I developed a speech impediment where I stuttered. So I just stopped speaking in public around the age of 8 years old. Right? Then I stopped smiling. Then I just stopped associating, started isolating myself. I lived in that state of fear for many years of my life. So when I share these things with you, again, I'm letting you know right now what works. Am I saying it's going to be easy? Am I saying it's going to be comfortable? No, it never was easy. It never was comfortable. It definitely requires for you to step outside of what has become your fixed reality of what you have defined as normal for you. And I want to encourage you to know right now that if you're living in fear, if you're living in where you're letting anxiety to own you, that's not normal. Living in a state of fear is not my normal. We were not created to live in fear. Because you know what fear produces? Correct. Fear actually causes us to go from stage 1 stress, which is healthy stress, to level 2, to level 3. What's going on? Listen, I don't know. Hi. I want to say your name, but I can't see the face very good from here. For those of you who's watching on YouTube, I'm also over here on Instagram as well, right? So living in a constant state of fear causes our body to go from level 1 stress to level 2 to level 3, which are very dangerous levels, which then can cause other psychological and physiological harm to one's well-being, okay? And if it continues over time, some have seen where individuals have gotten into states where it was irreversible. Some cases, not all. But we're sharing this today because you're in a good place right where you are, watching this replay, and I'm encouraging you to take these steps. So do the opposite of your feelings. It's like, oh, don't go there. It's too scary. People may judge me. I may mess up. But then if you go and do the opposite of your feelings, another one is, I don't feel like going for a walk. I don't feel like taking care of my health. I don't feel like going and working out. I don't feel like learning what it is I should put into my body so that I can give my body the proper fuel that it needs so that it can function effectively, so that I can do the things of what I want to do every day, whether it's my responsibilities of school, sports, whether it's hobbies, whether it's community work. You need good fuel. So when I feel like eating junk today. I know that sounds weird. I know that maybe that's not something that we all will have to go through our head, but I know it's gone through my head where I'm just like, I just want some junk food. But then I have to have a conversation with myself and ask, okay, so what is it that I'm trying to do? What's going on, Charles? All right, so I'm like, so what is it that I'm trying to do? What are my goals? What am I trying to reach to? And if I eat this junk, is it going to slow me down? Is it going to affect how I'm going to be able to think clearly as I'm getting ready for this test? As I'm getting ready for this important meeting? If it's going to do that, then I may feel like I want to have this, but if it's going to impede or stop me from reaching that ultimate goal and desire that I have, let me just not do that right now. What's going on? Yes. So again, number 1, building resilience and owning your story takes doing the opposite of your feelings. Doing the opposite of your feelings is telling you to do things or suggesting that you do things that's going to cause harm and cause you to derail from what it is you want to accomplish in your life, or you wanted to grow and get better. Number 2, in building resilience. This is my opinion on it. I've never been a co-signer for reverse psychology. It never worked on me. I see it as straight up in your face manipulation. and I'm not with it. I'm not with it. I don't. I want to use the word hate because I do. I've always had. And anyone that tried to use it on me from since I was a little girl, I remember I would just shut down and I would distance myself from that person. I would. And I did that all the way through high school. I still do. I reverse psychology. I'm just like, just cut the bull. Just tell me what it is that you want me to do. If you walk me through how it is I'm to do it, and then and educate me on what the benefits are in me taking this risk to trust your method in this. Case in point, in high school, my coach saw that I had everything of what it took to be an incredible hurdler. I, however, had an encounter with that particular event a year before where I was injured pretty badly. And that was due to there was no coaching, there was no guidance, there was no support, there was none of that. And I went at it on my own, having no clue what I was getting myself into. Now, prior to that, I had history of an extensive injury that was done when I was to my body when I was 7 years old. And I was very cautious of hello. Trying to see Caitlin, what's going on? What's going on? I was trying to, I always approach certain events, sport events, with caution because of that extensive injury that I had when I was 7 years old. And so I went after this trying to put my hand to hurdling without any coaching, without any mentorship, without any guidance whatsoever. And I ended up on the first try hooking my back leg and tumbling, and I was going so fast and skated down that what do you call that material again? Asphalt. And so I skinned up myself, and then when I got up, my left knee was weakened, and I had no issues with my left knee until that encounter and trying to attempt the hurdles. And so the following year, when I finally was on a state championship track team with the best coaches ever, I still had that fear. And for me, because I was not committed to taking track and field as a career all the way to the top, I didn't weigh the risk. The risk and the benefits just didn't weigh out. So this is where I'm getting at. Number two, count the cost. In building resilience, it is imperative that you count the cost. Don't just jump into doing something because someone else sees that you have the capabilities of doing it. If the risk involved outweigh the benefits of what you desire to accomplish in your life, like the risk may involve you possibly getting injured to the point of where it could affect your ability to fulfill your purpose. That's not worth taking the risk for. And so that was something that I had to do for myself, was that after that injury the year before, I had to say, yeah, I see coach believes in me, and that's awesome. But what do I want? What do I want? What is it that I want to be able to fulfill? And am I going to need all physical faculties of my body working well and with little to no pain in order to fulfill my life's purpose? And I know that I did. So I opted out from training on the hurdles because I wasn't fully committed to improving that skill just for the sake of improving that skill. I knew that I could build resilience, strength, stamina, speed, discipline, sportsmanship. I knew I could build all of those other characteristics and all of the other basis foundation of what I would need for program development in the future from doing all of the other events that was less risk involved. And so that was how that 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 is how I will balance, make a decision when it comes to um, being faced with a situation or a challenge or um, an opportunity, whether it's in business, whether it's in relationships, personal, family, whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be sports, it could be anything. Weigh the risks to the benefits. Okay. So the third thing is, and I want to say this but on that second point, in counting the cost. Please, 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 when you make a decision based off of the why, the greater why for your life versus, oh, I'm going to do this because my coach or my parents says they want me to, but you know in your heart of hearts, this is not the path that you're going to be taking for your life's purpose, right? Don't just commit to giving your time and effort into something fully for years and years and years, knowing that your heart is not in it. Okay, that's wasting your time. That is not just wasting your time. I guarantee you're going to end up, it's only going to lead to resentment. It's only going to lead resentment towards yourself and towards the other person, and that's not fair, because how are they supposed to know what's in your heart? No one else knows what's in your heart except for you and the one who made you. Okay, and the only way anyone else knows what's really in your heart, what your heart desires are, is if you open up and share it with them. That, hey, this is what's in my heart that I really am wanting to do and accomplish in my life. And they may not like it because it may not be what they want for you or what they wanted for themselves and to see it through you, but that's okay. You're going to cross those roads multiple times throughout your life. It won't be the first time that it will happen. And it's good for you to have those conversations, start practicing having those conversations with those individuals that you care about the most first. And then it gets easier as you build that resilience. It gets easier in learning the tact of how to approach that challenging conversation. The third thing of what to do to build resilience and own your story is to face reality. Face reality and knowing that life was never promised to be easy. Point blank. Life was never promised to be easy. So this whole thing about chasing emotions and chasing feelings and chasing that, oh my gosh, the highs of life, while negating that the way that this life is set up, it wasn't set up for it to be easy for us in the way that it is right now in this fallen state. However, there's a reason why we keep multiplying and why we're about to cross 9 billion human beings on the earth. Is because we were built to be overcomers. We were not built to be overtaken or to be owned by life, period. We were built and made and created to be able to face the challenges that come at us head on, figure out what is the best solution that we ought to take, and give yourself grace, because there are going to be moments and times where life is going to come at you really fast and really hard, and you're going to make a decision right there on the spot in that moment. And then in hindsight, you may look back and say, that wasn't the best choice to have been made. I should have done X, Y, and Z. Please give yourself grace. Because we're all learning, we're all growing, we're on this journey of learning, growing, and transforming. All right. And so it is good to go back and do reflection, but don't condemn yourself over something that you did your best at with the knowledge and the understanding and the experience that you had acquired up until that point. All right, so that's it. Building resilience and owning your story, real strategies that work without all the fluff. If this helped you, I'm going to ask you to like this video, share it with a friend, share it with a family member, comment below what's one takeaway that you are going to implement today in owning your story so that you can build resilience. God bless. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next Mind Style Makeover Monday.